Welcome back, my Pokemon and Pokemon Go players, and for today's video, we're going to be going over our next community days. With 2024 coming to a close, we are now going to look into our December community day, our January 2025 community day, and our February 2025 community day. And there are some Pokemon that I would like to predict for at least January and February, because we all know that December community day is every single Pokemon. So for today, I like to go over that, and I'd also like to go over upcoming events for the next season. So don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Also, don't forget to leave your comments down below and tell me what you think could be our January and February community days for 2025. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button, click on that notification bell, and share this video with your friends. Also, don't forget to follow me down onto my socials below. My Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter pages are always provided. So now, without further ado, let's get on with today's video. So let's go over our dates for these upcoming community days that we have on the horizon. Starting off, we have December Community Day 2024, which is going to be on Saturday and Sunday, December 21st and December 22nd. Then, starting 2025, we have Sunday, January 5th, 2025 with a regular community day. Then on Saturday, January 25th, we're going into a community day classic. And then Sunday, February 9th, that's going to be another standard community day. Now let's go over what possible Pokemon we could be seeing for each of these community days. So let's start off with December of 2024. As we all know, December 2024 features every single Pokemon that we have seen so far throughout the year. Now I'm going to go over every single Pokemon that we have seen so far for 2024 community days. Starting for January, we have Rowlet. Then for February, we had Chansey. Then for March, it was Litten. Then for April, it was Bellsprout. Then for May, it was Bounsweet. For June, we had Gumi. For July, we had Tynamo. For August, we had Popplio. For September, we had both Ponyta and Galarian Ponyta. For October, we had Sewaddle. And of course, for November, we had Mankey. Along with that also, we had our 2024 Community Day Classic Pokemon. This of course featured Porygon, Bagon, Cyndaquil, and Beldum. So obviously, these are the Pokemon that we are going to be expecting for 2024 December Community Day. But enough about 2024 Community Day. Let's move on into what we could possibly be seeing for next year's Community Day for January and February. Now, for those who don't know, next season, we're going to be seeing the Unova Tour, which of course is out in LA again, although I really wish it was out in New York, because we all know that the Unova region is based off of New York City. So, to go into what community days we could be seeing some more Unova Pokemon for our 2024 community days. So, let's start off with January 2025, starting with January 5th, of course. Here's what I would love to see happening for these community days. We could be either seeing Vanillite or a Klink. Obviously, I think Vanillite would be a very good candidate choice because it is an ice type after all, and it's one of the good ice types that would start off with January, since of course we're in the middle of winter. Klink would also be a great choice because I have mentioned before in previous videos that Klinklang with Gear Grind would be a great PvP battler. Gear Grind is like a fast attack damage move, and only Klink knows that attack. Well, Klink and its evolutionary line would only know that attack. So obviously, Klinklang with Gear Grind for a community day. A Klink community day would be great, and Vanilla community day would also be great as well. Hopefully, we get to see that this year. If not, then, well, what else will we get? Next up, our Cday Classic for 2025 of January. Now, there are some candidates that we have in mind, but here's who I would love to see for January 2025 Community Day Classic. Obviously, Pikachu with Surf would be a good candidate choice. That was the very first Community Day, and I think that would be a good Community Day Classic to have. A Chikorita Cday Classic would also be a good candidate choice. Torchic Cday Classic would be really good too. Obviously, a Ralts Community Day Classic would be great. I would love to see a Ralts Community Day Classic happen. I'd also love to see Trapinch Community Day Classic happen as well, because I love Flygon. It was one of my favorites to use back in the Gen 3 games, and it's still one of my favorites to use even in the Paldea region. So obviously, I would say a Trapinch Community Day Classic would be awesome. And because we already had one 2020 Community Day Classic this year, I could definitely say Rhyhorn would be a great Community Day Classic choice as well. Hopefully one of those predictions do come true. I would definitely love to see one of those Community Day Classics happen. Alright, now let's move on to our February Community Day candidates that we could be seeing. Sticking with Unova region again, here are some of the 5 Unova regions that I have, plus I have one from the Alola region that I would love to see happen as well. Obviously, we could probably see a Pidove Community Day. Even though nobody wants that, it's a possibility that we could be seeing that. A Venipede Community Day would actually be really awesome because Scolipede does know the move Steamroller in the main games. I think that would be a really great Community Day to have. A Sandile Community Day would be nice to also have. Even though Sandile is not available in the wild, I think at some point it will be available in the wild. Probably around time when the Unova Tour begins. But we'll have to see where it goes from there. Next, then we have 2 Psychic type possibilities. There's Gothita and Solosis. Obviously, I would love to see these happen, because I got one of these shinies already, and I think having a Community Day that features Gothita and Solosis would be pretty awesome. I mean, it's not ideal that they would probably get a Community Day, but it's a possibility that they could be getting a Community Day. Never know what could happen. And lastly, Pikipek. I definitely 100% would love to see a Pikipek Community Day happening in the Pokemon Go. I mean, 2 cannon with Eek Blast? That would be incredible to see. And I have kind of been begging for this Community Day to come in as well. Like I said before, I've had a perfect IV Pikipek that I hatched from an egg back in 2022. And I have been dying to evolve it into a 2 cannon. But I want to wait until a Community Day happens for it, so that way it knows Eek Blast. But as I've mentioned before, these are all basically predictions. So hopefully some of these predictions do come true. Now, Community Days aren't the only events that are going to be available at this time. We are also going to be having some other events. This of course includes Research Days, Max Battle Days, Hatch Days, Raid Days. Let's go over what these dates are going to entail. So starting Saturday, December 7th, we have a Research Day. Then on Sunday, December 8th, we have a Max Battle Day. That's going to be pretty awesome. Saturday, December 14th, we have a Raid Day. Sunday, December 29th, we'll have a Hatch Day. We haven't seen a Hatch Day in a long time since the Kleppa Hatch Day, and it's a good time for a Hatch Day to happen. Saturday, January 11th is going to be a Raid Day. Sunday, January 19th, it's going to be a Shadow Raid Day. I hope it's going to be Shadow Rayquaza because that would be pretty awesome to see. Then on Saturday, February 1st, we have another Max Battle Day. And on Saturday, February 15th, is another Raid Day. Now, I'm assuming for one of these Raid Days, we are definitely going to be getting Mega Audino at the time, because here's why. The reason why I say that is because there is only one Pokemon from the Unova region that has a Mega Evolution, and that of course being Audino, and of course with next season going to be featuring the Unova Tour, it's likely going to happen. So this I'm actually going to be pretty excited for. But whatever these dates are to entail, it's going to be epic. So that's pretty much a lot of predictions to go over for these upcoming events coming into Pokemon Go. I'm actually super pumped up for next season's Community Days. I cannot wait to see what the Pokemon is that we are going to be getting. Well, anyway, that's pretty much it for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you all on to the next video. Goodbye, everybody.